Everyone has a Kung Fu Panda take. Tai Lung was misunderstood, Shifu was a bad father, and Po was the chosen one. But nobody talks about the character who watched everything fall apart and did absolutely nothing. The wisest character in the movie, the one with all the answers, the one everyone quotes at their lowest moments. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is mystery. Here is my problem. If Oogway could really see the future, if he genuinely knew what was coming, then he watched a child get destroyed for 20 years and never said a word. Why? That question seems simple. The answer broke something in me. Act 1. The child who never had a choice. You need to understand what Oogway was watching. A snow leopard cub, no name, no parents. Shifu finds him and does something beautiful. He takes him in, raises him, trains him, and tells him the one thing that ruined his life.
He believed in him. He told him he was destined for greatness.
Shifu never actually says the words, "You will be the dragon warrior." He doesn't have to. He raises him with praise, with certainty, with pride dripping off every single lesson. He tells him he's destined for greatness. He tells him there is nothing he can't master. And he says it with so much conviction that Tai Lung never once has to ask if the scroll is his. It just feels like his birthright. Think about what that does to a child with nothing. You don't explore who you are. You don't ask what you want. You walk the road. Because the road was built before you were old enough to ask if you chose it. Look at Tai Lung in this clip. Study his face. This isn't passion. This is someone trying to deserve love. And here is the brutal part. He was extraordinary. Best student the Jade Palace had ever seen. Mastered forms that took others decades, followed every rule, did everything right. And Oogway watched all of it. Grand Master, the wisest being in the valley, the one who already knew how it ended. Watched a child build his entire identity around a promise and said nothing. Not when Tai Lung was 10, not when he was 15, not once in 20 years. He waited until the one day when the truth would hurt the most. Why? That's what I couldn't let go of. And the moment I finally understood it, I stopped seeing Oogway the same way. But first, I need you to see something. A moment most people skip right past. 3 seconds that explain everything. Go back and watch the Dragon Scroll ceremony. Not as a villain origin story, but as a being watching another being discover in public that everything they built their life around was a lie. People call that arrogance. Wrong. Arrogance is confidence without evidence. What Tai Lung has is 20 years of proof. He didn't assume he'd earned this. He knew it. Oogway says no. And Tai Lung does something nobody notices. He doesn't explode. He looks at Shifu. That look is not a villain looking at his master. That is a son looking at his father, asking one thing. Are you going to say something?
Nothing.
Tell them they're wrong. Tell me my life wasn't built on a lie. Say anything. Shifu says nothing.
You're not meant to be the
And
dragon
that is where Tai Lung breaks. Not during the attack, not in prison, in the silence. Before anyone defends what comes next, yes, what Tai Lung did is wrong. People got hurt, that's on him. But here's the line I can't shake. Everyone talks about the monster. Nobody talks about the factory. Now, where was Oogway in that room? Standing right there, the Grand Master, watching a boy shatter. And doing what he always does, nothing. And I thought, maybe Oogway had no choice. Maybe he made the only call he could. Until I noticed one detail. Act 3. The detail. Here is where my argument almost fell apart. Because Oogway was right. Tai Lung's attack, the valley, the destruction, everything Oogway predicted, everything he feared came true. The darkness he saw in Tai Lung was real. So maybe he did the only thing he could do. So evil, stopped it. No, sorry, I believed that until I asked one question. If Oogway could see what Tai Lung was becoming, he could also see what was creating him. The pressure, the impossible expectations, the identity strapped to a child before he could speak for himself. He saw the darkness growing in Tai Lung. He saw exactly what was feeding it. Imagine a doctor who watches a patient getting sicker every year, sees the disease progressing, waits until the damage is permanent, then steps in. Do we call that wisdom? That's not wisdom. That's a choice. And Oogway made it every single day. And that's the thing about this channel. Every cartoon, every game, every story we grew up with, there is always a lesson hiding underneath the surface. Something about ambition, about fear, about the people who shape us. We just never slow down enough to see it. If that's something you want more of, subscribe. You'll fit right in. Now, Oogway making that choice every day for 2 decades, I could almost forgive if it wasn't for the pattern. Because when I mapped every single decision Oogway makes in this film, I found something I genuinely did not expect. Act 4. The pattern. Watch how this works. Oogway makes the call. Shifu deals with the fallout. Oogway chooses Po. Shifu has to figure out the impossible. Po nearly breaks in training. The Furious Five have to rebuild their entire worldview. Oogway predicts the storm,
Tai Lung will return.
then disappears before it arrives. Every single time he makes a decision, and someone else carries the cost. Always there for the decision, never there for the consequences. And look, maybe his decisions were right. Po does become the Dragon Warrior. The valley survives. Maybe Oogway's vision was perfect the whole time. But wisdom isn't just knowing the answer. Wisdom is staying when the answer is hard to live with. Predicting the storm isn't the same as standing in it with someone. Oogway always had somewhere else to be. Everyone else cleaned up what he left. And when I sat with that, I realized why this story bothers me so much. It's not because I've met people like Oogway. It's because I've been him. Act 5. I've been him. I watched the friendship slowly die, told myself, not my place. I watched someone I cared about walk into a decision I knew would hurt them, told myself, they need to learn. Watched the goal slip further away. Every year I didn't move on it, told myself, it'll work out. Not because I was wise, because getting involved was hard. Because conflict costs something. Because it is so much easier to stand at a distance with a calm face and call it wisdom than to step into the mess and actually show up. Oogway isn't evil. That's the part that's hardest to sit with. He's not cruel, he's not calculating, he's something far more recognizable. A good person who convinced himself that doing nothing was the same as being wise.
There is no good or bad.
And that mistake doesn't look like a mistake. It looks like patience, it looks like trust, it looks like someone who has risen above the noise until you see who's paying for it. And it's never the one who stayed back. Life doesn't fall apart all at once. It falls apart while somebody tells themselves there is nothing they can do. Maybe Oogway wasn't a villain. Maybe he was something more dangerous. A person with every tool, every authority, every answer who chose peace over presence. Here is what I think real wisdom actually is. It's not the code, it's not the distance, it's not the knowing. It's staying when it's uncomfortable, when it costs something, when the storm is here and everyone needs you. And ascending in a shower of blossoms would be so much more beautiful. The people who changed things in this film weren't the ones who knew the most. They were the ones who stayed. Next time you feel that pull toward distance, toward silence, toward it'll work itself out, ask yourself one question. Is this wisdom? Or is this just fear wearing a very peaceful mask? Knowing is not enough. Staying is the work. Drop in the comments the role of the person in your life who had every ability to help and chose distance instead. You'll see how many people write the same one as you. And if this made you think, there's a video on this channel about Squidward, a character everyone dismisses as the bitter neighbor who never made it. But when you actually sit with his story, really look at what he wanted, what he sacrificed, what he lost, the lesson he's carrying is one of the most important ones I've ever found in a cartoon. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you there.